Happy Friday, everybody. It's Chamber Check-In time. And today I'm honored to share the story of 50 Flowers, a women-owned floral business here in Boise, Idaho. And today I have founder and CEO, Lisa Roser. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Paul, and everybody out there.
I'm so excited to have you on today's show and get to educate the community on your business and what you bring. But first, I got to thank our series sponsor for these check-ins. It's Delta Dental of Idaho. Lisa, Delta Dental of Idaho have been providing employer and individual dental benefits to Idahoans for over 50 years. And their plans are designed and backed by the largest network of dentists in the country. And with that, I get to show a fun video from one of their Tooth Truth series. Here we go.
Yeah, it's a weird time, but there's still a lot to smile about. So stay connected with your dentist to make sure your oral health and your overall health remain a priority. Plus, find out what services are available and what options and precautions are in place to protect you and your smile.
Thank you, Delta Dental. So, Lisa, we met probably in 2016 at the Upcycle Studio.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Oh, how could I ever forget? Exercise is near and dear to my heart. And I promise you, you meet so many interesting characters when you're exercising. And you never know where it's going to take you, like this, where we are today.
And,
right?
And on that day, we're getting out of the studio, we're getting our work clothes back on, and we happen to walk out of the building together. And I'm like, hey, I'm Paul. You're like, hey, I'm Lisa. I'm like, I work for the chamber. You're like, I own this floral business. Come on down and I'll show you our office. And like, that's how that conversation started. And you took me down, took me under your wing, introduced me to the people and showed me your stuff. And that was amazing.
Well, first and foremost, I love to share what I do. And it's interesting, you say, your floral business. I had this epiphany a while back to where actually we're a tech company that sells flowers. Right on, right? And yes. I am the flower CEO. I am the floral expert. That's my arm in this part of, the pie of the business. However, we are a tech company that sells flowers.
And that is super cool to hear. It's just like Tesla. They're a tech company that happens to put the shell around it that drives around, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's super cool. And so tell us, these chamber check-ins, Lisa, are really cool ways of sharing our member stories. You guys have been a member since 2018, and we've partnered on a few things over those years. Help share the origin story of 50flowers.com with the audience today.
Absolutely. It's actually kind of a fun story to share. I graduated from college and wanted to go abroad, and I applied for Peace Corps. I was accepted as a Peace Corps volunteer, went down, helped for 2 years working in small business in their department and the small business arm, should I say, of Peace Corps. There are different areas. And I was able to work with artisans, and I wrote a guide that USAID funded. And I was able to teach all over Ecuador. And I just fell in love with Ecuador and did not want to leave. So as soon as the word got out that there's, the green guy, she wants to stay in Ecuador, I got pulled into flowers. And who knew that I would fall in love with flowers and it would spark what it has sparked today. And I worked in the various different aspects. I spent a lot of time fully understanding the floral business. It's a complicated business because there's a lot of importing and exporting. It's a perishable product, planes, trains, automobiles, craziness. And one day, one of my clients suggested that I start my own business. And I was like, okay. So I jumped in with my first business. It's Farm Exports, and it's a B2B funnel where we sell flowers direct from the farm to importers and professionals. And, I can say I was the first company to ship flowers from Ecuador to the island of Guam. I have clients in Kuwait, Italy, Russia, all over the world. And that morphed into 50 Flowers. I saw the niche and the opportunity of getting flowers direct from the farm to the consumer's arms. And 50 Flowers found, that very focused, laser focus on DIY couples that are planning events like a wedding. And in 2003, 50 Flowers was born, and we basically disrupted the industry. There were many of the industry, I was well known in the floral industry and distribution of the wholesale side. And I would be sitting through conferences where they would stand up and be like, those 50 Flowers, they're ruining our industry. Exactly. And everyone who knew that I was behind it would turn around and look at me and be like, that's you. So, we came in and basically created a whole new distribution channel for flowers, which was Netscape, AOL. There were no websites back then.
Okay.
It was pioneering on the technology side, as well as breaking up the way that it doesn't go from, a plane to a train to a floral shop. Now it goes directly to the consumer.
Mm-hmm. I've experienced that DIY myself. So I threw a party for my wife's 40th birthday, and I thought it was a good opportunity to try your service out. So I went to 50flowers.com. You pick some different colors and themes, and about how many you would like, right? It's really easy to go through the website, and they come in a box, and they're like, seriously, the stems are on them, and it's ready to DIY, to do it yourself.
Exactly.
What I liked about that is I could put it together, and it costs a lot less. I think for like $130, I was able to make like a dozen arrangements.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right. And I really enjoyed that fact. And it shipped right to the venue that I was having it at. I didn't have to come to my house. So I thought that was super efficient.
Yes. In fact, it's, I do just want to do a quick shout out for our floral professionals out there, because this is not an intent to replace or even underestimate their expertise in creating an event, because it takes a lot. And there are many times, I remember in 2008 was when the economy crashed, is when 50 Flowers just boomed, because everyone was going on a budget and we didn't have any competitors. We were out there, we had done our due diligence, we were ready. And many times I would be on the phone with our clients stating, you really don't want to do your own flowers. It can be complicated. And there is a time and a place for you to, to really estimate, should you be doing your own flowers? However, now, fast forward, we've been doing this for a long time. We have a lot of expertise. And not only is it that we have the expertise in, help, like the flower sourcing, we have the expertise in getting it to your doorstep. As we all know right now, logistics are a nightmare. And it is something, logistics, supply chain, it's what we're all faced with in today's world, post the pandemic we're coming out of. But we get it to you, and we're going to teach you how to do it too. So,
well, full disclosure, Lisa, I had help with the event planner.
Oh yeah, as you should. Yeah, it's not hard if you keep it simple.
Yeah.
If you want to complicate it and you're planning to do it all by yourself, I would highly suggest go with a professional. And I just have to put the plug out there. I sit on the Society of American Florists board now. They were, I was their biggest enemy, and now, bring your enemies in, and we're all dear friends, because there's plenty of pie out there for every business to succeed.
You mentioned farms. Where do you grow your flowers? Tell me about that.
Oh, all over the world. So here in Boise, we have about 20 people on our team. And then in Quito, Ecuador, I have an office down there and a business down there with about 30 people. And of those 50 were operational. It's our tech dev, it's accounting, it's purely operational. But we also have feet on the ground in Quito, Ecuador. And 48% of all of my product originates out of South America. And, I've been working with these farms for 20 plus years. I've broken bread with every single one of my farmers down there. I've watched them, birth their babies. And
Wow.
as far as their farms, plant their first seeds. I've helped them project what crops to plant, what's going to be in demand. So they're not our farms. In fact, Paul, funny story. I
Yeah.
did have a farm at one point. It was a tuberose farm. And this was back in 98 and 99. And guess what happened? This volcano erupted and lava wiped it out.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah. So that was like an early on lesson of, one of the secrets of success is really focus on what you do best and only what you do best. Because when you try to, one of my philosophies is, and I have to share this, is business is a pie. Let me put it right here. And,
Right.
if everyone needs to have a little piece of that pie, and everyone needs to be profitable in that piece of pie. Like, for example, for me to get flowers to you, and we deliver to all 50 states, plus up into Canada and Puerto Rico. I can't, I'm not going to put in a plane that's going to go drive all of that. I need to stay with the overnight international shippers that can do that. And farming, not what I want to do, even though I know how to do it and I understand it. I understand drip irrigation, I understand fertilizers, plastic. We stick in what we do best, which is more or less the taking, the buying the flowers and getting them delivered.
Okay, I'm glad that you said that because there's so many businesses out there that are trying to be everything to everyone. And, we all know that 80% of our sales comes from, 20% of our product. And I would imagine that 80% of our effort needs to be aligned with those 20% of product, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, we talked a little bit about how you got started, a little bit about your background, the Ecuador story. Dive into the products that you offer. When I go to here, I'm going to bring up your website really quick, and so people know where to find you. So it's 50flowers.com. And what will I expect as somebody who just wants to order from your website when I go there? Tell me about that.
And I think it's fair to say during the pandemic, we really thrust into a separate, a new business, which is a flower subscription and gifting service. And I don't mean to jump through this before because, hopefully you only get married once, right? And you have such an incredible floral journey with 50 flowers that you're going to want to come back and get flowers again. And we didn't have a way to market back to all of our clients. And to give you a benchmark, pre-pandemic, we were delivering flowers to, okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
About 3,000 weddings a week all across the United States.
Wow.
And to give you some numbers, this year, we are going to deliver, just with 50 flowers, 8 million stems of roses, which if you took roses and, put them about a foot tall on a football field, that is 8 football fields.
Wow.
Just let that soak in. 8 million roses. And that's one of, 2,000 flower variety color types that we sell. Actually, it's probably more like 6,000 if you include all the different rose colors that we have. That's one of the flower types that we sell out of about 80 flower types.
How many different floral companies are like yours, Lisa? I guess that's a bad question. I mean, how many other companies are shipping flowers globally like this?
Do I have competitors? Something that's kind of interesting, Paul. Not only do I have competitors, but they're clients. They're post-client. They were clients of ours that they've popped up, and there are the big box stores have gotten into our area, and we absolutely have competitors, and they're on our landscape, and we are studying them, and we know them, and we have a lot of legacy, which is a very good thing. However, it can be a very burdensome as well. Putting up a .com today you go on a SaaS product and you just rent it, throw up a couple pictures, maybe even rip off my pictures and put them on a website and become my competitor. And it's easy to do.
And what I meant really by my question was,
Oh,
if you're shipping 8 million roses
mhm.
and another company's shipping 8 million roses, where are all those roses being grown? Right?
Oh, oh, Colombia is a huge producer of roses. In fact, the statistic is around 80% of the flowers that we consume in the United States are grown in Ecuador and Colombia. And Colombia by far is, I want to say it's going to be 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 in the production rates compared to Ecuador. Colombia is more of like the mass producers. I mean, we are so blessed to have Albertsons here in town, and their new floral and the expertise and just the variety that they have in our local Albertson stores is amazing.
Yeah,
They do an amazing job, I have to say.
Yeah, I can't even imagine the supply chain and you've got to grow the flowers to cut them and sell them, and just the cyclical cycle of all that all the time. It boggles my mind.
Well, and remember, Ecuador and Colombia are on the equator.
Right.
So
right.
we have 12 hours in Ecuador. I can speak more of. It's 12 hours to the minute of sun and darkness. And it's the perfect climate. So we don't have seasons.
Okay. That's awesome. So yeah, all year round, 365 days a year. Okay. Yeah. Hey, we have a little bit more time here, and I want to hear about your team. You're talking about having a company that's across time borders and across the sea, and then you have a local company here. Mm-hmm. How do you get everybody on the same page? Tell me about your team culture.
First and foremost, team culture is extremely important to us. And, coming out of COVID, my business was hit hard. Yeah. And, I was faced with a lot of new things. Like, I'd never furloughed anybody. I had never had to, I've always had to, I spend way more time working in the business than on the business. However, COVID, I got to work on the business, and because we had to furlough, there were no events. We had to have the hard conversations. And coming out of that, my team is stronger than we've ever been, and our culture is so amazingly just together. One of our purposes is to be awesome, and it's be awesome if you pick up the phone and you're going to talk to a raging client. Just be awesome at it. That's all we ask of you. And it's very clear. If you're going to take the trash out, which we talk a lot about taking the trash out, because I don't mind taking the trash out. I don't know if it's the best time that I could be taking the trash out, but I don't mind doing it. And humility is really important on our team. But in general, I would say our team we're fresh, we're new, we're together. And we realize the importance of keeping Ecuador and us connected. And that's a challenge, because they speak Spanish and we speak English. They have these holidays, we have these holidays. So we have secret tricks that we're doing that, and awesome culture programs that we're working on right now within the company.
So you started down on the Grove, and your little offices that you showed me initially, and now you're up on the bench, and you've got, I don't know how many thousands of square feet of your office, and I've been in your office a few times, and what I noticed, and I had never told you this, was that I felt like family when I came inside. I was greeted. You had some pets that greeted me as well, and the way that you were interacting, everyone was important. And you took the time, during our time together, and when they came to you, you gave them your full attention and were engaged. I think that's something special right there.
Definitely. In fact, I saw a bumper sticker that I've adopted to one of my personal mantras, and it's humankind, be both. In this world, behind a face, there is something that has happened. And it's so important to tap in and understand that we're going to have bad days. And when we have bad days, it's my mission to help bring a smile to your face. And it's also very important that, as the founder, as the passion, leader, I have got to get you to fall in love with life. Because if you feel good about life, you're going to feel great about, everything you do, including your job.
Well, you've got the perfect product to enhance people's lives.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We bring so many smiles through our flowers.
Yes. I love it.
Yes.
So everybody who's listening, I just want you to know that there is a local company here that's run by local people that can enhance your day. Give50flowers.com a try. They have do-it-yourself stuff. They have bouquets. You name it. There's so many different products they have.
Can I shout out one thing that we did come up with very quickly is we do have these incredible DIY classes that we do for corporations. And it's basically through Zoom, we send you a kit with your whole team. Everybody gets it at home. They can do it with their kids or not. And we'll bond you together through flowers and share the joy of flowers. Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea. A company culture kind of get together, team building, make some floral arrangements for your clients. I love it. I love it.
Yes. Yes.
Is there anything else that you'd like to educate the business community on while we have you here today, Lisa?
Yeah, I want to be very specific about flowers. Flowers bring joy, and it is whether you purchase them from Albertsons or you purchase them from me, it's more important that you purchase them, because having flowers in your environment significantly reduces stress. And I have the studies on that. If you'd like for me to share them with you, shoot me an email. And if you're also an entrepreneur and you're looking and you're struggling, I'm here to support entrepreneurs as well. I think it's very important to get involved and find your tribe and talk about those moments and the hard things that you're struggling with, because if I haven't been through it, I know somebody who has. We're a community.
Absolutely. And I think this is a great reminder for all those husbands out there to get some flowers for their spouses.
Absolutely. Flower fix. Flower fix. Absolutely. Get your flowers, fix everything. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you for your membership. Thank you for your investment. Thank you for spending your time to educate others and being involved in the entrepreneur ecosystem here. I think it's really cool that you're able to take that time, and it's important to you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You bet. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.